Microcasting for your city. Talkapolis.
Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by SoftLayer.com. We love SoftLayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at SoftLayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show. Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome to Thursday, November the 15th. It is Music Business Daily time.
That's right. It's time for us to tell you what's going on in the world of music according to the headlines on the interweb.
On the interweb. Well, first thing on the interweb, your favorite person in the world, Brandon Flowers from The Killers, hints at a Muse collaboration.
With Matt Bellamy. They're buddies, apparently.
They are apparently friends, so... Brandon, was just talking to the Sun and was like, yeah, we've become really good friends, and so we get along really well with Muse, so maybe we should write something with them.
And this is the kicker.
Yes.
Let's write some huge choruses.
Huge choruses, man. Don't worry about the verses.
I'll meet you tomorrow at 10 in the morning, and let's write a huge chorus.
Yep. He said they said we would be trying to outdo each other, so he thinks that would be a good idea. Them trying to outdo each other because then they could just make huge choruses each time.
Boys will be boys.
Exactly. That's kind of how I feel.
It's like, well, listen to this chorus.
Is that a whammy bar right there?
Yeah, I was whammying. Nothing
good.
says huge chorus like a whammy.
Nothing. Nothing does. Well, the Vaccines, this little band, he came out and said Rihanna is as important as Radiohead, and apparently people got up in arms about that. But he said, I like that he said that no type of music is more valid than another.
Who are the Vaccines, by the way?
The Vaccines, they're like this little baby band from the UK.
Oh, people like them?
And people like them. Well, they were wearing denim here, so that's how it works.
I'm sure they'll be very popular in third world countries where they need
the vaccines. Please come see us, the Vaccines.
How confusing. They thought they were getting all this stuff for malaria.
Exactly.
And they got the ban.
Exactly. But I like that he said, I just feel like bands can be misunderstood, and I think people can over-intellectualize music, because people always say Radiohead's because their lyrics and their music, they're so deep. But he's like, I think Rihanna's just as important. I think, whether you think it's shallow music or deep music. So I really like that he said that.
I just think he's attracted to her personally.
Probably.
That's what's
Probably.
Going on there.
He was like, I'm going to name drop so that we can hang out together. Rihanna, have you heard me
People
yet?
do that all the time.
Have you heard me?
That's how they meet people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say all the time, Greta is the coolest person ever. She is as important as Rihanna and Radiohead.
And that's how I got to be on the show.
And that's how you got to be on the show.
By her saying flattering things like
I
that.
try.
Well,
George Jones.
This is sad.
This is sad. He has announced his final tour dates ever.
He's been sick.
He's been sick, yes.
But he's a legend. And he must be in his 70s, right?
He is, and he's in his 80s. He's 81.
He's 81.
Wow. He's lived
That's
a life.
That's a good run, man.
I know.
I retired at half that age.
Well.
Had enough.
George Jones, it's called the Grand Tour, though. And Tanya Tucker's going to be on it. But I think what's cool is his Nashville show is going to be his final performance overall. So
Which one is that? We're going to that one.
November 22nd, 2013. So it's a year from now.
On my mom's birthday.
Okay.
The Possum.
We will be going.
Can we buy tickets in advance right now for that show?
I don't know. It doesn't say whenever tickets are going to go on tour yet.
I'm going to get, my little brother is the biggest George Jones fan ever.
There you go.
And I got a signed CD for him and a mug.
Oh.
Well, Susan and Evelyn work with him. So we've had her on the show, so we have a little in with George Jones.
We need to get into that show.
But this is probably the greatest living country singer. I'm just going to throw it out there. The voice.
Honestly.
So.
And he inspired so many other people. And I like that in his statement it said, it'll have surprises throughout the shows. You never know who may show up. The Possum has lots of friends, so it's going to be the most exciting thing to see who shows up during the final show. So
one of the best shows ever was Carnegie Hall, George Jones, Chris Christopherson opening by himself is phenomenal. But I love George so much because he lets the band play for like 10 or 15 minutes before he comes out.
Yeah.
And they're just jamming, and he's got this background singer, and he finally comes out, and he's like, thank you. He's like, thank you, Sylvia, to the background singer. She's like, it's Patty. He's like, whatever. We're gonna get. And then he sells his dog food and his sausage in the middle. It's awesome.
I mean, when you're George Jones, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you're like have you tried George Jones' new breakfast dog sausage? And seriously.
Well, there you go.
At Carnegie Hall.
Well, the thing is, we need to get some sausage because that's going to be in rare form after he stops performing.
Collector's item sausage.
Yes.
Well, it was so funny because he was just so great about being there. He goes, I would have come back here and played Carnegie Hall another time. I hadn't been here since 1965, but there's no place to park my bus. That's what he was complaining about. He's like, I don't like this tight New York City parking.
Can't change him. Can't change him.
No.
He's still going to be George Jones no matter where he plays.
He is.
Those are going to be hot tickets.
Get your tickets. You got a
year.
year.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets, because we will be there. Get your tickets to see Laura Jane Grace of Against Me get her teeth knocked out. And, you know.
Again, I don't know. I'm old, out of it. Who the heck is Against Me?
Against Me is this punk band that's been around for a little while. Laura Jane Grace, this was a bigger story this year, was actually Tom, I believe it's Tom Gable, and he came out and said basically like, hey, I'm a girl. Like, I'm gonna transgender this.
Because nothing says punk.
Like
Transgender, is it like a sex change?
Yeah. So
he
now
became a her.
Yes.
And now she's in the band Against Me. And
Yes.
then he got hit in the teeth with the microphone and cracked her teeth.
Yep. And just knocking out a few teeth. My favorite part, though, is that she tweeted, I'm going to start a Kickstarter to get a diamond grill like Kanye. Because I feel like there's a market for that. Just going to get some diamonds put in.
That is. I think
That's
looks really
very
good.
punk rock. I think it could
and
work.
It's girly.
I think it could work. So, I don't know.
That punknews.org is where this came
Punknews.org.
from.
Thanks, punknews.org. So, I don't know.
Let's read this.
What?
In May, Grace played her first gig as a woman in San Diego. That must have been so wild.
I like that their forthcoming album is called Transgender Dysphoria Blues.
That is hot.
Yeah.
The singer is currently undergoing the transition from man to woman, as taking hormones and undergoing electrolysis. Must be really weird when you're like in that process.
To be like in the public eye.
Yeah, because you're like, hey guys, this sounds good. Hey guys. I mean, like, do you think that like
As a singer, too.
as a singer, like your voice would be going all over the place?
I don't know.
Not to mention the hormones. I mean, if you've been a dude and you've never experienced the raw rush of estrogen of like the PMS thing, welcome. Why would you ever want to be a chick? I don't know.
I don't know, but I think it's cool that like, I mean, it's interesting that like they're still touring, you know what I mean? And their fans have been so supportive. Like, it's been really cool to see that outpouring. But I mean, obviously their fans didn't knock the teeth in. That was a microphone.
But do you think she's
so.
singing differently now?
I mean, I haven't heard,
We'll have
but
to
I
go
would
to a
assume
show.
so. We're gonna go to a show and try not to get our teeth knocked
Ask
out.
me. Yeah.
Because that would be dangerous. Someone who hasn't gotten their teeth knocked out yet, John Fogerty. He's gonna write a memoir.
Good.
He just decided he's gonna write a memoir.
Well, Creedence Clearwater Revival is one of the legendary bands of
But
like
seriously.
the 70s and 80s, so I bet he's got a lot
of stories.
A lot of stories.
I'm
Yeah.
reading the Keith Richards biography
Oh,
now.
I read it. Life?
Yeah.
It's phenomenal,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm in the middle of it.
It's
and
the
it's
best
just
book
like,
ever.
what?
Yeah.
Like, and so I hope that I feel like this is going to be on par with it. So he said, I want to tell the story of how I fought hard to maintain my artistic integrity in the face of opposing forces. And again, it's being published by the same people who published Life.
Oh, really?
Keith Richards' Life. So I think it's really neat. I mean, I think that they struck gold with that one. You know, Life was such a big book. And so I think that, you know, it's unnamed right now, but it could be John Fogerty Life.
Do you think he's going to write himself? Because, you know, Keith had a little help with Mr.
Yeah.
Fox there, helped him. But
I don't know. I mean, it basically, you know, it's going to be about him, but I think he'll probably have some help. They usually do.
yeah, they usually do.
But I mean, I'm interested.
In 2014,
I wanna read
that'll
it.
be out.
I'm interested to read it. Yeah, so we got to get our tickets for our 2013 George Jones show, and then get our book pre-order for our 2014 John Fogerty memoir.
Okay.
So we have a lot of pre-ordering to do today. Last story of the day. I know this is dear to your heart because
Super
you
dear to my heart.
love Gangnam Style.
I love Gangnam Style.
But there's a big study that says that big pop stars of the future are going to come from Asia and South America. There's
is he
a lot of the
levitating in that
trends.
picture? Why is he off the
He
ground?
is floating. He is just floating.
he is
Psy is in the air. He's in the air. I just think I think it's really cool. Gangnam Style kind of came out and was like, everyone thought it was a joke, but then everyone really liked it. And
It's a catchy ass song. In fact,
It is.
I've been hearing those same beats
Uh-huh.
in other songs coming out that have been appropriated by Psy and his Gangnam Style. But this makes total sense that
Yeah.
you would see more pop. I have a feeling it took them 20 years to get one pop
One
star
pop
off the
star
ground
out
out
the
of Korea, and
Yeah.
now there is going to be a lineup.
I think it's really cool. It's just becoming, it's becoming way more multicultural, obviously. And so, I don't know. And this is just saying on the UK scene, because usually, you know, the United Kingdom is cooler than us and they catch on to stuff before us. But it's supposed to spread to America too. So, I don't know. You know, if you're watching us in Korea, get ready.
I don't know. He could be a one-hit wonder. Just saying, it's going to be hard. Like, what's your track 2 from Gangnam Style? Like a sweet ballad?
Yes.
Okay.
All about, but it's slower dancing in the elevator. You know.
I don't know. I mean,
Sweetness
it's
to go along
a
with it.
joke, right? It's a joke that's catchy.
It's
so
a joke
it'll
that's
see,
catchy and-
you know, if he can. I don't
on
know.
to it.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the next single.
We're ready for the next single. Well, we will be here to report it.
Well, I have a
Music Business
question for
Daily.
you. Did Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez break up?
They did break up. Jelena is no more.
Why? Who
You
dumped
know, I don't know. I heard that Selena said it was over trust issues.
who? Trust issues.
Sneaky. So I don't know if you can trust the Biebs. But yeah, that was a Tuesday story, and it's still affecting us.
It's still.
we don't know how
I'm always a day late and $1 short. All right, well, thanks.
Always ready for Jelena. No more. But thanks for joining us on this magical journey through music. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Microcasting for your city. Talkapolis.